The Badger Divide is a 210-mile bikepacking route that runs from Inverness to Glasgow, passing through some of Scotland's finest scenery. It follows parts of some existing trails, such as the Great Glen Way and the West Highland Way. I decided to walk this route in late April and early May 2025, adapting it to follow some of the Rob Roy Way as well. It's primarily off-road, with gravel roads, rocky sections, forestry tracks and some asphalt. My route started at Inverness Castle and then followed the Great Glen Way through Drumnadrochit to Fort Augustus, before turning south into the hills, the Coolachie Forest and the Corriaric Pass. I then dropped down to Loch Lagan and the Advariki Estate, passing Loch na Erba until I reached Loch Ossian and the Curraw Forest. I walked through Rannoch Forest near Loch Rannoch and back to the first real signs of civilization in Bridge of Balgie. I walked along the River Lion to the Stronach Reservoir and then to Killin, the first major town since Fort Augustus. After a rest day, I picked up the Rob Roy Way, passing through Strathire, Kilmahog and Aberfoyle before arriving in Drimmen for my penultimate night. I then followed the start of the West Highland Way back to Milngavie and caught the train for the final 6 miles into Glasgow. All in all, I walked around 205 miles in 12 days. Come with me as I walk the Badger Divide. Well, good morning. It's Wednesday the 30th of April 2025, and today I'm hopefully starting a walk from Inverness to Glasgow, or just north of Glasgow. It's about 210 miles. This first day is quite long, just over 19 miles to Drumnadrochit. My route, if I go all the way, will take me for the first 2.5 days along the Great Glen Way to Fort Augustus, and then I cut down south 5 days through the hills. And I'm wild camping then, and I've got a little hotel booked in Killin, just so I can clean up and everything. And then from Killin I join the Rob Roy Way down to Drimmen and hopefully finish up in Milngavie. A couple of years ago I did the West Highland Way, so I've walked from Milngavie to Fort William, just walking alongside the River Ness. I'm just about to cross it. Lovely. The first section of the Great Glen Way, starting at Inverness, is highly scenic. You start by walking alongside the River Ness and then crossing onto the Ness Islands. After a short while you reach the Caledonian Canal, which on a lovely day like today was absolutely beautiful. The blossom looked even more lovely in the warm spring weather, and the short distance beside the Caledonian Canal was easy, lovely walking. Shortly after leaving the canal, the path follows the slopes of Dunane Hill, with excellent views back to Inverness. The way then picks up an old drove road where cattle were driven from the highlands to be sold in Inverness, taking you through ancient pine woods along pleasant forest paths. This all made for easy and very pleasant walking. Very pleasant forest trail. My watch says we've done 8.5 miles, but actually it's probably about 7.5 on the Great Glen Way actually. About 3.5 miles from Aberachan. Absolutely wonderful views. And you can see the path off in the distance. No sign of Loch Ness yet, but it's around. I think we'll see it soon. Well, it's about 10 past 1 now. I've been walking, started off properly at about 9:45, so nearly 3.5 hours. Done about 10.5 miles, so not bad going. It's quite a nice breeze, and it's lovely and warm, but not hugely hot. Walking along a little track, about 2 miles from Aberachan, and there might be a little eco cafe there. If there is, I'll stop and get myself a coffee, but I'll stop anyway and have some lunch and have a bit of a rest. After a bit of a trudge along a gravel road, turn right, and oh look, light lunch, vegan, traditional, famous Highland cake. Business open as usual, open 365 days. This looks good. How can I miss this? It's the Aberachan Eco Cafe. Looks good. A coffee and a piece of cake. Sounds just what I'm looking for. Well, this is the Aberachan Eco Cafe, and look at this. Real coffee, nice bit of fruit, lovely bit of lemon cake, vegetable soup, crackers, a nice hunk of cheese, and some nice olives and radishes and things like that. Don't know how much it is, but I'm happy to pay anything. If you're doing the Great Glen Way, you absolutely have to stop here. They're open 365 days a year, and they've been here since 1999, and it's just a glorious spot. How could you miss something like this? Basically, you follow a little track, it's well signed. Go up and ring the bell, and they'll come and serve you. Brilliant. Well, as you could see, that was quite a spread. Really enjoyed it. It's lovely. Quite expensive, 20 quid, but I don't begrudge paying that at all. It's nice to sit down, took my shoes and socks off. The only trouble is I'm stuffed full now, and I could just do with a nice snooze. But 2:45, still got about 8 miles to Drumnadrochit. So better crack on. The weather has been absolutely fantastic today. It's been warm, but not too hot. There's been a bit of a breeze. Sun's been shining, it's been lovely. Long may it continue. So Inverness is 17 kilometres. Drumnadrochit 10.8 kilometres. We've got this Aberachan forest. I'm just going to go straight ahead down that little track across this road. I took the low route through Aberachan forest just because it was a little bit shorter, and today is quite a long day, so particularly for day one, so I thought I'd make things easy. It's a pleasant enough route. Excellent views. Great Glen Way so far has been really well waymarked. Blue posts and the Scottish thistle emblem to show you where to go. So I suppose you could just about do this without a map, but I would never advise anyone to do that. I've got the OS maps that I need to take me through to Killen, and then the Harvey's map of the Rob Roy Way that will take me down to Drummond. And I've also got the route plotted on my phone just in case. And I've got a compass as well. And our first glimpse of Loch Ness. Looking beautiful and blue. There's Urquhart Castle there, which goes from Pict times, and the majesty of Loch Ness. Hopefully about 3k to go now. I must admit, I'm feeling a bit tired, slightly running on empty now, but I suppose that's what you get for a long first day. Good morning. Day 2, still on the Great Glen Way. I stayed at one Loch Ness hostel last night in a little garden room, which was very pleasant. Had a stroll down into Drumnadrochit. Still felt very full from my lunch, so I just went to the chippy and then sat around. Unfortunately, I didn't sleep well at all. I think I was a bit hyper from my walk, so I'm feeling a bit tired and creaky today. It's a long first day, not particularly advisable, but that's life. Got 17 miles to do today to Inverness, and just beyond that, Invercoil campsite. So, we'll see how things go. But yes, as I say, very well marked. You can see the markers here. Fairly steady climb out of Drumnadrochit, and we're into the dark woods. Seems to be quite dry, with lots of posters up saying about a fire risk, and I can see why. All the trees around look very dry, and underfoot is pretty dry as well. I've been walking along this little road, just gone onto the path on the right of the road. Perfectly okay walking. Bit of a climb up to here, but relatively easy now. About 3 kilometres from the pottery at Groteg. It is cooler. Actually, it's good walking weather. 13 to 15 degrees. Cloudy, sun occasionally peeks through. So a lovely view of Loch Ness. Just stopped at the pottery in Groteg. Very nice pottery actually. But also had a lovely coffee and a very nice piece of whiskey and fruit cake. Nice view of Loch Ness. Seem to have been gradually climbing for miles. Path is quite undulating. Stopped at the crossroads for something to drink, and then I was going to take the low route, but the high route looks more fun. We've got some wonderful views. About 5 miles to Inverness. So I think we're probably at much the top of the high. Some fantastic views. Well, the upper path has been rather nice actually. A few stiff climbs and descents, but nothing too bad. And some beautiful views across Loch Ness and over the other side. And we're walking through a sort of forest track now. Quite easy walking at the moment. I think it's about 3 miles to Inverness. I'm going to stop at Inverness, have something to eat, and then head down to Invercoil campsite, which is another couple of miles, and take stock of things. So this is the view catcher, made out of Caledonian pine to highlight the stunning views. Ooh. You can see through it pretty good. Walking down to Inverness now. It's about 20 to 4. Apparently there's a hotel here, so I'm hoping I might be able to get a meal. Haven't really had much to eat all day today. It's been not a bad day actually. I struggled in the morning, but this afternoon was better. And the high route was quite nice. Some good views and some nice climbs and descents. So walking down this little road now, and hopefully we'll be at Morriston in about 20 minutes. This is Morriston, rather nice. I popped into the hotel to see if they were doing food, but it's only 4 o'clock and they weren't. So I went into the Morriston community shop, which was lovely, run by a French man. He told me that he'd been told by his doctor in France that he needed to have a less stressful life. So he'd relocated here and was loving it. Charming chap. And got a couple of miles to the campsite now. I went into the community shop and bought an ice cream and some crackers and some hummus. So I'll make something when I get to the campsite. Walking up this little track, about 10 minutes till I get to the campsite. Some beautiful views of Loch Ness, relatively easy walking, and just coming up to Invercoil campsite. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that will do. Invercoil. Down we go. Well, good morning. It's just past 9 on Friday the 2nd of May. Yesterday was tough. I'd slept really badly and just wasn't feeling it at all. Lots of aches and pains and coughs and wheezes and everything. But I got to Invercoil campsite, which was lovely. Very pleasant setup. Apparently this was the hottest day of the year down south, but the weather had changed up here and it was quite cool and a fair bit of rain. So it rained overnight. And I made myself something to eat and I went to bed and actually slept pretty well. So I'm feeling much more positive today. Got about 5 miles to Fort Augustus. It's quite a grey day today. A little bit of a wind and a bit chilly. I've just got a shirt on. Started off with a top as well, but got too hot walking on that. And a few drops of rain in the air. Possible forecast for it to rain later on, but the forecast for the next few days is obviously the weather's changeable, but doesn't look too bad. Just walking along here with beautiful views of Loch Ness. And when we get to Port Augustus, that's the end of Loch Ness, and we leave that behind us. It's been a good walk so far. Not particularly difficult, a few ups and downs. Day one was long. Day two was quite long. Today I should, if I do decide to go down to Glasgow, it's only about 15 miles. So I didn't intentionally planned for it to be a little bit easier. So I'm hoping for a coffee in Port Augustus and something to eat, some breakfast, and then we'll decide. Southern shores of Loch Ness in front of us. And looking down towards Fort Augustus. About 1.5 miles away now. Some fairly severe logging going on here. So just went into the Caledonian Canal Centre and had a lovely, it's huge breakfast. And sorted myself out to the locks, heading down to see if I can pick up General Wade's Military Road, which is about 1.5 miles down here. Just met a cyclist who's doing the Badger Divide. We just climbed up the Corrie Arroch Pass and been hampered by these Highland cattle who've been in front of us, but eventually managed to get them to move away. So that is Collucky House, and rather fine it looks too. And nearly at the top of the Corrie Arroch Pass, looking back to Loch Ness, and you really do get the sense you're in the middle of nowhere, which I suppose we are. Going straight ahead there, ignoring the track to the right. I think it's about 18k to Melgarve. But I won't be going that far today, I don't think. Just walking down to the little loch, and then a bit of a steep climb. So, quite an ascent from the dam that you've just seen on the left. And looking over, just behind that hummock is Fort Augustus and Loch Ness. And ever upwards on the Corrie Arroch Pass. So, it's about 2 o'clock. Just stopped for a bit of a rest. Had quite an ascent. Been walking uphill for about an hour now. About 2 kilometres from Blackburn of Corrie Arroch Bothy. And then I plan to camp about another 5k on from that at Milan or Harbeag, the Corrie Arroch Pass. But I'll see how I go. I could theoretically go all the way to Melgarve, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see where the day takes us. And the good thing about this is I can just stop whenever I want to. There do seem to be quite a few places where you can wild camp, which is nice. I'll just show you quickly on the map where we are now. So, Fort Augustus here. I stopped there for about an hour and had a nice breakfast. Came down here, and rather than following the route that I've highlighted in blue, I did this little cut off. I just happened to see a cyclist coming down it and hadn't thought about that before. And then I was a little bit worried here because it's not absolutely clear that there's a route up to Kulachi House, but it's really clear. There's a cycle path. I met cyclists there, and that's where the cows were, where the cows were, and it's an easy road. And then you get onto General Wade's military road. We just wandered off the map, but didn't fall off the end of the world, which was good. And came up from the dam. Wandered off the map and came up from the dam, and we've stopped just about here on the map. And then we're going down here. There's the Blackburn of Corriayak, and following it down, this is roughly where I plan to camp, just down here. But if I go on for a bit, again we go off the map and back down again, and that does take us to Melgarve. There might be a bothy in Melgarve, but I'm not sure there is. But I'm sure there'll be some places to camp. So we'll see whether we get that far or not. So just coming up to Blackburn of Corriayak bothy. Gonna go and have a quick look, and maybe a bit of sit down, and then I'm going to filter some water. Looks like it might be having its roof redone, so I'll be interested to see what it's like inside. And what I took to be a roof being rebuilt is in actual fact just corrugated iron roof. So let's have a little look inside. I wonder if there's anyone in there. Hello. Oh. Wow, look at this. Skin so soft does not work at all. Chest set. Almost empty gas. Brings in a bit. A nice fireplace with looks like some wood ready to start a fire. Some candlesticks, but no candles. A few seats, a window, and that's about it. And a wheelbarrow and a spade. And it says Blackburn Bothy, rebuilt in memory of Pat Beagle, 1921 to 1996. Rest in peace, Pat. Well, I sat down in the bothy, had a rest for 20 minutes. Nice sit on a chair. It's only about 3:45 now. It was about 3 hours later. I think I would have stayed because it looked great. It had a nice fire. But I want to press on. I'd planned to camp in about 5 kilometres from here. Just a spot on the map I saw. But I'm feeling okay at the moment, so I think I might push on to Melgarve, which is about 13 k's, so not too bad. Just going to negotiate a little ford I'll show you this. There are a few fords on the way. I just stopped at one and filtered some water, so I've got plenty of water. My pack's probably about the heaviest it's going to be. I worked out that without water it was a bit over 13 kilograms, and I stopped in Port Augustus and bought some Mars bars and some tortilla wraps and some Primula. So I suppose with water it's about 15 kilograms, which is heavier than I'd like, but I reckon about 6 kilograms of that is food, and I'm going to eat my way through that over the next 6 days. I've got a hotel room booked in Killen, so when I get there I'll probably be in need of a shower or two, and hopefully I can wash my clothes a bit. Really out in the middle of nowhere, but when I checked about an hour ago I had a fantastic phone signal, better than I get at home, but I'm not going to trust to that. Still following General Wade's military path, coming to quite an impressive bridge considering we're in the middle of nowhere. I was looking to see whether there was a name for this, but couldn't see anything. It's 4:15. I've got about 3 k's to go before my initial campsite, so I think I will carry on. So let's cross the bridge over the River Kwai. Ooh. It's a bit unsteady in places, and a few gaps, but rather a nice little stream. And on the other side, very pleasant. Gonna have to gain a fair bit of height in a bit, so still going up the Koryayak Pass. Not quite sure what this is. Let's have a little investigate. Not quite as appealing as the bothy. Well, the last hour and a half since leaving the bothy has been uphill all the way, and it's been hard work. I'm knackered. It's about 5:45. Sun's still out, but the wind was blowing and it was getting a bit cold, so I've got the top on. I think we've just about gone over the top of the Koryayak Pass. There's a little bit more climbing to do, and hopefully I'm heading for Melgarve, which is about 3 more miles, and I'll stop and make camp there. The scenery out here is gorgeous. There's no one around. Since I started up General Wade's military road, I've only seen one other person, a cyclist doing the Badger Way, Badger Divide rather. He's long gone. He was hoping to get to Coror tonight, having started off in Inverness, which is pretty good going. But look at this scenery. It's stunning. Pity about the pylons, but I suppose you've got to bring electricity. My fingers are quite cold. Got my gloves on. Look at that. It's pretty good, isn't it? Walking downhill now. Hooray! At the moment it's not too steep, so it's quite nice, easy walking. You can see the hills in the distance, topped with a little bit of snow still. It's a beautiful evening, and it's pretty much downhill all the way to Melgarve, how it's pronounced, about 3 kilometres away. Well, it's 7:25, and you can probably just about see in the distance, it's actually much nearer than that, is Melgarve. So I can see a sort of red building and a grey building. Now, I don't know if they're occupied, I don't know if they're ruins, I don't know if they're bothies or a bothy. One can live in hope. It's been quite a tough day today. Certainly the bit on the Cardiovaki, whatever it is, pass going uphill was tough. And I got quite cold. But it was all right. I had a few stops. Just when I was feeling really tired, I had an energy bar, and that perked me up. And since then, it's been pretty much downhill all the way, which is rather good. Well, we'll have an explore and see what's what. Well, unfortunately, it's not a bothy, and it's all locked up. I don't know what that place is there, but you can just see the deer in the distance. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going to pitch camp just where I'm standing, I think. Well, good news is the back door's open. Fireplace. Matches. Diary of British Steam Trains. There's a little back room here. Spongy floor. Some camping chairs, which is good. And let's have a look upstairs. Hello. There's a stable below. Oh, gosh. Difficult to see. I think I'll be sleeping downstairs. And there we go. Just walking up to hopefully find some firewood. And look at all the deer. Difficult to see them at this distance, but I thought I'd see if I can catch them on video before they all run off. Looks like I'll be the only person staying at the bothy tonight. It's very pleasant, but slightly creepy, mainly because of the upstairs, I think. But it's got a visitor's book, and there are a number of people who've stayed here before, so hopefully it'll be fine. Oh, they're all starting to run off. Loads of them. Look at that. There we go. So I've managed to get a fire going. The wood was slightly damp, so I had to use my stove to get it going. But it seems to be blazing away now, which is nice and makes it all a bit more cheery in here. And interesting enough, the little house down there, someone's just driven down to it. Looks like a holiday home or something like that. It's certainly well off the beaten track. So I have to have a nice time.